Okay, so here's the thing. In my defense, daylight savings and whatnot, you know. Anyway, hi. How is everyone? How are you guys doing? Holy shit. It has been so long. It's been like 2 days. It really hasn't been that long. Cashcal says, wasn't that a week ago? Listen. A week and like an hour. Give or take. Hi, how's everyone doing? Welcome in, welcome to something that is gonna be probably one of my favorite streams of the year. We are doing a one-shot, like, masterclass today. Full on, someone says it's because of having having no hot water and having flies everywhere because my plants are... apparently the soil that I have is a breeding ground for flies or something like that. It's not been great. So I've got flies everywhere. My apartment oscillates between extremely hot and extremely cold, and it's always really hot at night and really cold during the day. And then I had no hot water, but it got restored, so we were all good. You can tell because my hair is all curly. This only happens on a wash day, and so hello, Crow Doggy. Hi. Welcome in everyone. Welcome to what I'm dubbing the one-shot masterclass, brought to you by the amazing folks over at Roll and Play Press, who have created something that I'm so excited to show you guys because not a lot of people have it. This is something that is not actually technically available yet, and I was given a free little preview of something really cool. Kashka said, be aware you have something incoming if you check your phone. Really? I spent all day preparing these overlays. It doesn't look like it because it was a lot going on. My heater, oh my god, and the maintenance thing was a whole thing. You guys, the universe does not want me to have a moment of peace or hot water. We got it fixed, but there were so many problems. Guys, Cash Cow sent sushi. Thank you so much, Cash Cow. Also, Crow Doggy, thank you so much for the sub. I'm gonna get you on the board. I have to erase the subscribers from our Freddy Fish episode. If you guys don't remember, we played Freddy Fish not too long ago. And also, it was the one with the missing kelp. Honestly, I really vividly remember the theater section of that game and, like, nothing else. You guys probably can't hear me, huh? That's okay. What I meant to do was to get this all set up. Because I'm getting our subscribers on the board, and after that I gotta show you guys something really fucking cool. Endo says, looking forward to the one-shot stuff. Yeah! So, the backstory here, Kashka says, only because I know you haven't eaten, have you? I don't have any groceries right now. So I think that's kind of like the bigger problem. Let me see, oh my gosh. Oh man, oh gosh, oh man. So it's not just one-shots that I have to show you guys, there's also something really cool. It'll get immediately spoiled if you use the commands that are on the overlay right now. But if you use the commands, it takes you right to what I'm about to show you, so if you like spoilers. Oh, Crow Doggy, thank you for the 5 community gifted subs as well. Fuck me. Okay, well, I'll put your name on the board here 6 times in a quick sec. But, I don't know if you guys saw my story. Probably not, because I just posted it while we were here. There was this thing a little while ago where the amazing folks over at Roll and Play Press offered to send me a free copy of their fantastic book of one-shots called One-Shot Wonders. And let me get all this over here. It's heavy, because it's not just the one-shots. But they sent me a copy of One-Shot Wonders, and it was like totally a like non-committal thing. Like it wasn't a trade for a video. I don't think it was. I can't remember. It'd be unusual if I had said yes to that, but they sent me the book, and I took one look inside. And I was like, oh my god, this might be the best book I have on my shelf. For like D&D specifically, this right here is something that everyone needs to have, and they're not controlling my opinions here. Like, yeah, they sponsored this stream, but I was talking about, like, singing this book's praises before they sponsored me, because it is so good. If you don't know what this is, One Shot Wonders is essentially a compendium of over 100 one-shots for primarily D&D. It was like, based with D&D in mind, but it's like easily adaptable into anything else. They play tested it with other books, other games as well, so like Pathfinder and things like that. It's fully compatible. And of course, anything with a slight bit of modification can be tossed in because it's very story-based, not so much like mechanics-based. So it's highly flexible, and like every 1 to 2 pages of this book is a one-shot. And it's organized so well. And it comes with maps, it comes with, like, different, like, keywords, so you can at a glance tell what you're about to run and what kind of themes are in it. So, for example, it'll say at the top of a, like, at the top of one of the pages, like, it's a thrilling rescue that takes place on a suspension bridge. Things like that. Like, full on, you could close your eyes, flip to a random page here, and have a game. And hey, Unknown Human, welcome in. Paulo says, I thought this was a drinking game. If it wasn't a sponsored stream, maybe. But, it's so cool. It's organized by, like, location, too, which I'll get to why that's important in a sec. But it's just such a good book. And this is one of those things that I think everyone needs to have. It's formulated perfectly for new DMs, for old DMs, people with experience, people with time, with no time at all. And it's also got this thing where the adventures can be expanded from one-shots into full-on campaigns. And then it also can be modified for different levels. So if it's like designed for a group of level 4 players, it has a blurb at the end that says that exactly what you need to do to modify it for level 7 players instead, or level 1 players, things like that. Crayhack says, Diana, are you going to be at PAX Unplugged? I am! I hope to see you guys there. I'm stoked for it. I'm really excited. Okay, wait, let me get Crow Doggy's name up here. Same with Hedge's Corner. Thank you so much. Oh, and Dendrandra. I swear I should know. You've been in this chat so many times. I should know how to say your name by now, but welcome in. Let me put you on the board of wonderful subscribers. Wonderful subscribers for the day. I'm excited. I'm hyped. This is great. I love this book so much, you guys. I'm so happy that they decided to sponsor the stream. All right, Tis, welcome back for your 7th stream in a row. We also have DBCU, who's on a 65 stream streak, which is amazing. One of our lovely mods. And Christoph Dan 187 is on a 5 stream streak. Cash Cal, our other mod, is on 60 streams in a row. Hey, Aria, how's it going? Crayhack says, I won't be at PAX Unplugged, but my buddy does the one-shot panel sometimes. Oh, amazing! Yeah, dude, PAX Unplugged was really weird about their panels this year. I think they were only accepting 30. I got one that was waitlisted, which was pretty solid, but I know almost everyone who applied didn't get in, which is unfortunate, so I heard a rumor that the Philadelphia Convention Center might be under construction or something. I don't know if that's true, though. Either way, Hedges says the energy's infectious. Thank you. I'm known for nothing if not how wildly infectious I am, I guess. But Dendrandra says I can't even say my name most times. I'll try and write it at least. Thank you so much for being a sub. Drandra. There we go. And then we also had the Crow Doggy, who subbed once themselves. Doggy. There we go. The Crow Doggy. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for the subs, you guys. We are also doing a little bit of fundraising, mostly just so I can get a lash lift. There's really, I can't think of anything else, and that's like the one thing that I can't put on the throne wish list, I don't think. I think there might be a crowdfunding option, actually, but Kashka says, did RP give you a discount code by chance? No, but I'll get to the way that you can get into it a little bit later. I don't have a discount code, but what I have is direct links to the shop, and I haven't even gone to the other half of what they sent me, which I'll get to here in a sec. This is something that, like I said, it isn't even out yet, but I'll show you guys where you can pre-order that here in a moment. Spoiler, the commands take you right there. Let me see here. And then here we are. There's 4, 5. I can't write today. But since today is a one-shot masterclass, if you guys have any questions about running one-shots in particular, or like stories about running one-shots, or something that you're going to be doing here soon, a character that you designed specifically for one-shots, drop it in chat. I would love to hear about it. I want to hear you guys' experiences and things like that. I'm absolutely stoked. I think it'll be fun. I've also, like, one-shots are just such a wonderful tool in general. I know I've said this before, but it's one of those things where if someone is very new to one-shots, or to DMing, one of the things that I recommend that they do is run a one-shot, because that way it's very low stakes. You know, I hear a lot of people say, like, oh, I want to play D&D, or I want to run D&D for my friends, but, like, I'm afraid they'll hate it. And I'm like, well, first of all, you're running D&D for them. They're not going to hate it. They're just happy to have someone running something for them. But a one-shot is a really easy way to kind of like learn the ropes. Improv GM says until it turns into a three-shot. Yes! So that was the thing I was going to talk about, is you should almost never plan on a one-shot actually being a one-shot unless you like modify it to be as such. Like I said, this book gives you options for modifying things to be a whole campaign if you really want to take it in that direction. One-shots are very often, though, extended to like 3 sessions, at least all the time that I do them. Miriak is on a 7th stream in a row, saying slowly working my way up on my stream streaks. Welcome back for your 7th stream. I'm also going to get Hedges Corner on the board here as a subscriber. Thank you so much for being here on this lovely, what is it, Tuesday? So sorry for not having Monday streams again, by the way. That is going to be for the foreseeable future until I can get an exact, I think it's like the next 3 months or something like that. I still can't tell you guys why. I'm working on it. I'm working on getting clearance for that. But it's really cool. But Technivore says, I'm working on a multi-shot right now based on Shin Godzilla, a high-level monster hunting sort of vibe. That is sick. Dude, monster hunting is also really good as just like a one-shot sort of thing. Even if it's a multi-shot, you know, and a lot of people say that D&D isn't the best system for that. And if you don't play D&D, that's fine. This book has stuff where you can do anything with this book. But it makes a really good one-shot because it's so encapsulated. You know, you figure out what's happening, collect clues, figure out what you're up against, figure out how to take it down. That's a part that a lot of people forget. And then just go for it, you know? I think there's a couple of those in here. I'll get into that in a sec. The Nerdy Bencher says, about to do a one-shot for a few first-time players, but worried it will last a few sessions. It almost certainly will. So the way that you can kind of like circumvent that is making it known right off the bat, especially for new players. It's kind of a toss-up, right? Because sometimes they'll sit around in a fantasy coffee shop for the equivalent of 2 hours of real time, and then, you know, you're like, well, there goes half our time. Or sometimes they just straight up don't know what the options are in D&D, so they treat it like a video game, and they treat it very linearly and directionally, where they're like, oh, okay, this person told us to go here. I guess we won't question that at all. Like, we'll just go here, and, you know, step after step after step. So it kind of depends on the players. I would sit down with them and, like, lay out expectations. And this happens a lot for pacing in APs too. If you have to break immersion a little bit, it can be okay sometimes, especially if you sit them down and you're like, hey, just for timing, we're really hoping to get you guys to the cave. And that's what I'm shooting the end of the session to be. And they won't know what that means until they receive a quest that has to do with the cave, and then they'll know kind of in their mind latently how they need to pace things out if they want to stick to the time. So Maddie used to do that for Dungeons and Demigods, where she would pull us all aside before the session and she'd be like, hey, we only have this amount of time. You know, it's a live stream game, so you can't edit it. And so she was like, we're going to try and get to this key point before the end of the session. And that helped us out a lot because it informed us on what we needed to do. And I recommend that for games that are, you know, for new groups, for disparate groups, so people who you haven't played with before mixed with people you have played with before, and then also if you're playing in like for you know, running a one shot at a local game store for strangers or something like that, you know. Michael says during an AP I had to tell someone during a break, you need to actually go after things. Being passive isn't working. Yeah, and that sort of immersion breaking to keep the pacing moving along is something that I feel like people are pretty okay with. Let's see. Silver Ellipse? Hello, welcome in. Same with Gab Troiano. Hi, hello. Ando also says, the way I started DMing was running a one-shot for new players, and then when we ended, they just asked when we were playing next, and that was that. Yeah, so that's what I find happens a lot. I always build characters for one-shots as if the characters are actually going to grow into full campaign-type characters, because it's one of those things where people get really hooked on a one-shot, and then you just kind of end up working it into your story. Technivore says, I highly recommend the Silver Tower one-shot on Reddit. It's a great place to start DMing. I've heard that. I've heard Wild Sheep Chase. Anything in here works fantastic. There's, the way it's organized is really incredibly easy for new players as well. And again, this is going to sound like a pitch. They didn't give me any script or anything. I just love this book. And so they organize it. Actually, I can show you guys the proper way. Let me do this real fast. I'm going to pull up kind of an image of, it's like a little bit of a splash page sort of thing where I can show you guys the layout of what it looks like in this book. So you know what you're getting into. Don't just take my word for it. Let me see here. OBS stream packages, one-shot wonders, assets, pages. Ooh, let's do crossbones. I like that. Okay, let's see if this will work. Yeah, easy. Sorry if you're over on TikTok. But this right here is an example. It's from Crossbones, which is one of the one-shots that they provided. And the layout is one of my favorite things, like arguably ever, for that they've done. First of all, it just looks gorgeous. It looks fun. But up over at the top, you have, you see where it says spooky? So that right there is going to be the theme of the adventure that you're running. The middle one is the objective. So it says here that this one is an investigation. Some of them are, confrontations. Some of them are defense type stories. Others are acquisitions, like a heist style sort of thing. Others are rescues. So there's a lot of different categories that these one-shots fall into, and that middle section there underneath the title is going to tell you that. And then the last part tells you the setting. So Haunted Graveyard is a good one. The reason the setting is important is because you want to make sure... Sorry, I'm covering the commands. I'll put this down here. It's because one of the ways that I recommend people do one-shots and use one-shots is to... Oh, wait, a Clumsy Pillow says I might need to get that book. It might help whenever I get the chance to DM. It helps for so many things. Because, like, for example, sorry, I'm getting excited. One of the things that you could do is you can take the one-shots in this book and use it to fill out an area for a larger campaign. Could be homebrew, could be, an actual module. So for example, a Haunted Graveyard would be a good thing to potentially modify a little bit and then drop into Barovia, because Barovia, as it stands for Curse of Strahd, is really empty. And so, and something that the campaigns as they exist really lack when it comes to like published modules for D&D is they lack a lot of side quests. And sometimes your party's gonna wanna, like, not be railroaded. This is a really good way to avoid railroading, because they're gonna wanna, like, wander around. Sometimes they just head into the middle of the abyss, and you can railroad them and bring them back, or you can just place one of these one-shots directly in front of them, and then let them just, like, check it out, feel accomplished at the end. Doesn't necessarily have to give them any XP if you don't want it to. Maybe it could give them just like a couple items, just like little fun things. There might be ways to tie it into the story later on. So for example, this has like really strong Revenant vibes, and Revenants are a strong theme in Curse of Strahd. So you could find a way to kind of modify it accordingly and make it loop back into the story. And so that's just one of the ways that I recommend using this sort of book is kind of just like sliding them in around the map and using them to flesh out the world and make it feel more real. And especially for people who are really used to video games, making it feel like you can wander into the world and then find something to do no matter where you go. The other thing I recommend is using it for West Marches style campaigns, which by definition are functionally a series of one-shots. Where if you don't know what a West Marches style campaign is, it was created by, oh god, I'm forgetting his name. But there was this guy a long time ago who came up with this concept for a type of game style where his party was, really large. He had a lot of friends, fucking jealous. And he also, couldn't get scheduling down, which is the bane of our existence when it comes to being a D&D DM or a party member or anything. And so what he did was he created a large open world that had a single hub of civilization in the middle of a bunch of wilderness, right? And what he would do was his adventurers were part of some guild, or they were members of the town. And the town was always safe, but you would go out on contracts, during each session, and you would do functionally a one-shot. You would get contracted to go hunt down a monster, or gather some sort of resource and bring it back, or perform a heist, or do a scouting mission, things like that. And then they would come back at the end of the session, and then that was just a single contained story. And it was like something that they did every week at a set time, and whoever could show up that week got to participate. And if you couldn't, then you were just kind of in the background, hanging out in town, having downtime. And so West Marches style campaigns are fantastic, and like I said, they're functionally a series of one-shots. And so having a series of one-shots available at different levels that can be modified to different levels really easily really informs that sort of stuff and makes it a lot easier on the DM. Aria Stampede says, like Elder Scrolls. Yeah, it gives Elder Scrolls vibes where you just wander around and you eventually see like an old lady in a cabin somewhere and you're like, wow, this is sus. And then you find out that it is in fact sus. Things like that are incredibly common. Let's see. Airhead says, it's not really one-shot specific, but how do you go about scaling pre-written modules? Like in my small experience, they're often written for 4-ish players, and my party is a friggin' huge 7 players. Oh, that one's hard. Usually I use there's like an encounter calculator that you can use. And I forget the exact name of it. I might be able to post it in the Discord later if someone reminds me, but there's this thing that you can use. If you just search an encounter calculator for D&D 5e, you can insert how many players you have, how many party members you have, and what level they are, and then you can insert what the encounter is supposed to be for 4 players. So insert 4 players, insert what the encounter is, so you might say like 3 kobolds in a trench coat or something like that, and then take a look at what it says the like economy or the difficulty of that encounter is for 4 players. Then you're gonna up it to 7 players, and then adjust the creatures and their level inside the attacking, inside the monster group, essentially, until you reach the same level of difficulty and roughly the same amount of XP per party member. It's not a perfect system, mostly because the action economy might make things a little tough. Aided.org. I don't. That's not it. That's not the one I use. Also, Dethan says Kobold Fight Club. Not the one I use, but potentially. I don't 100% know. 3 Kobolds in a Trench Coat is a great song. Is that a song? I just threw that out there as a bit. I don't know. Is that really a song? Who made it? So this is Battle Sim. Okay, let me actually find it, because it's gonna bother me if I give you guys half-assed advice that's not actually. Let me see. Encounter Builder. Encounter Builder? Hardly know her. So this is the one I use. Oh yeah, it is Aided? ADD? Yeah, whoever said that. Amazing. You got it right. So that's the one I use. But yeah, so essentially I scale it to 4 party members first. So I plug in the encounter as written with 4 party members. And then I take a look at the XP per party member, and then I adjust it for however many party members I actually have, and then adjust the creatures in the party, in the monster party, and then make sure that it totals out to roughly the same amount of XP, if that makes sense. But let's see. Malik says I've seen snippets of the song as well. Ikiam Voodoo, hello, welcome in. Hello, hello. Oh yeah, sorry. So that was the answer to your question, Arrowhead. We also had Leader, who said, I'm working on the one-shot In Too Deep from that book. In Too Deep. So they're organized by a couple different things. Actually, I think there's like a couple indexes. There's like 3 different indexes, right? One that is for based on your monster. So if you have a specific monster in your world and you're not entirely sure how to fit it in, you can just like look it up in here and it'll give you a one-shot that includes that monster. So if I wanted to do rust monsters, I can do that. And let's see. There's also ones by theme, ones by objective. So that's what I was talking about earlier. If you want to do like an acquisition type heist, you can check this page here. And then if you want to do like one that is sort of a spooky type theme, or a mysterious theme, for example, the options are adventurous, mysterious, spooky, thrilling, and lighthearted. So something for everyone. You can check that out here, and then it'll give you all those options. I love this book, you guys. I cannot express enough. Punk wants me to breathe. Paul Gososa says In Too Deep, also a great song. I need to get more into songs, apparently. I will also say at the very end of the book, there's also a bunch of like tips on how to run the game. And there's things like how to connect stories, how to plot a campaign, how to make a character, playing a session, running combat, common complications, exploring the world, traps and hazards. I haven't delved into that too much yet because I was distracted by the one-shots, but this book really just holds your hand. Whether you're a new GM or if you're looking to sharpen your skills and make sure that you don't have any weaknesses in your gameplay, it's amazing. Virgil Pal says, Diana, what do you use to run PDF/book monster stat blocks on virtual tabletops? Do you just manually create them, or do you use an importer? I don't run virtual tabletops the same way most people do, so I don't have a whole lot of experience on that front. By the way, the reason you guys have never seen me talk about a virtual tabletop is because I don't use them very much. That's it. I don't do sponsored content for content that I don't use myself. So you'll never see me, advertise a vacation that I haven't been on. You'll never see me advertise a system that I wouldn't use regularly myself if I could. And virtual tabletops are not something that I run outside of Tailspire. And so unless Tailspire wants to sponsor me, looking at you, Tailspire, I haven't had enough experience with virtual tabletops to be able to safely recommend something or another. However, if you use virtual tabletops, I will say, if you run the one-shots in this book, there is a way to access functionally this map library right here, which I'll get to in a sec, digitally, perfect for virtual tabletops. It's actually, if you're watching on TikTok right now, the background of the overlay right now is a series of maps from this map folio that I'm holding right here. But yeah, so if you're curious about why that looks different, for those watching on over on Twitch, let me switch over so you guys can kind of see a little bit of it. Let me see, non-gaming. Yeah, there we go. So that background there is a series of shots, one-shots? No, a series of maps from Roll and Play Press. But anyway, here's the offering, essentially, for One-Shot Wonders. Again, if you use ! one-shots in chat, you can also get a link straight to it. And also, there's going to be a link in my bio for forever, so if you guys need, I might move it down a little bit. There's like a section there that's just for things that I've talked about, products and things like that. This will stay on there, so if you're curious, you know, ad infinitum, you don't need to like check it out right this moment. That link will be in my bio, so. But let's see. Crayhack says, I made a one-shot character who was fully based on brawling and charisma. It was Blades in the Dark, and I can't remember the modifier, but whenever you get a successful roll on a show of strength, your next charisma roll gets a +2. So I just broke shit before telling other people to open their locked doors. That is hilarious, actually. Also, hi, M-Perks. Enterprise says, I did a one-shot for my group once, and they were going after a green dragon, and I gave them a hero's feast first, negating its breath weapon. Because clearly I'm brilliant. That is hilarious, actually. I kind of love that. But let's see. Super Nerd said, that's a really good idea in that we gotta get here. Yeah, setting an end goal for a session, it works best, like I said, for APs, and then also if you have no idea what the party is like. So, you know, if you're playing with strangers, I played with strangers enough times. Hey, Quincy! Quincy says, lurking while I scramble to learn how to play Candela Obscura. Dude, oh, that is so real. I was gonna do that like right after this stream, is to go make my character. For those who aren't aware, we're playing Quincy and I are both in a Candela game with Matthew Lillard and Gina Darling, which we're both stoked for. It is a learn to play game, by the way, for those who are, and I'm going to derail briefly here just for the sake of the fact that that's the next big thing coming up. If you don't know how to play Candela, that's great. Neither do any of us. It's very much going to be a learn to play type game. And I don't mean that just for us, like in the annoying way. I mean, it's aimed at teaching watchers how to play Candela Obscura for the first time. So highly recommend it. Swing on by. You don't have to know the game. And that is going to be on, I believe, Fridays when it's live streamed. We don't know what we're doing. Anyway, Ashley, thanks for the lurk and welcome in. Kashio said, I want to DM, but I'm honestly nervous and a little scared because I'm not good at making puzzles. I'm better at solving and tearing them apart. Yeah, so there's an index in the back of the book for that. There is like a page here that is... Let me see. Riddles and puzzles. Some quests will challenge your party's wits as well as their fighting abilities, and adding them, riddles and puzzles can add a different type of challenge to your adventure and give your players the satisfaction of problem solving at the tabletop. And it gives you a bunch of riddles that you can use that I don't want to spoil because they're actually really good. I'll do one. Let me see. I'll see if you guys can get this one actually. It says, this one's kind of easy, but... My big cities have no people, my winding rivers have no water, my mountains have no snow, and my luscious fields have no grass. What am I? Yeah, that was so quick! Christoph got it! 10 out of 10. Amazing. Also, Jackweave123, welcome in, thanks for the sub with Prime. So it gives you there's like a list of those, and then a bunch of different options that you can use for puzzles in the game. Because at varying levels of difficulty and things like that. Jackweave123, welcome in. Hello, hello. Weave123. Thank you so much for the sub with Prime. I appreciate that so much. Good to have you here. Stupid said, I know Diana and Gina are going to be serving in Candela. Yeah, now that I have hot water, I can actually shower. Christoph said Dragon Age Origins had that riddle. Did it really? Oh my god, I remember the riddles in Dragon Age. Oh man, that was fun. I miss that game so much. It's not compatible with Windows 11. I tried to go back and like replay it because I wanted to play all the Dragon Age games in order, and it was not working out for me. It was not super Windows 11 friendly. Doff, welcome in. Oh my god, C-Dans, thank you so much for the sub at tier 1 as well. Hello, hello. Thanks for being here, you guys. It's wonderful to have you. Welcome in for a one-shot extravaganza. Let me see here. So yeah, those are puzzles. Stupid Nerd also says, sometimes making a one-shot character very clearly not having an advancement and then having to think of how when there is a campaign. That's how my friend Homebrew World, Kazoo the kobold bard that operates on cartoon logic, ended up becoming a god of trickery. That is my favorite thing. Yeah, so one-shots are the perfect segue, and that's why I tell new GMs to give it a shot, because like if they end up absolutely falling in love with GMing, which you should, because GMing is amazing and everyone should do it, and definitely like we need more GMs in the world, then it's such a good segue into like a full campaign. And like I said, there are options on how to make the adventure last longer if you want to kind of like tweak it in that direction. Or like I said, you can use it to kind of like add filler to an existing campaign. And also like those little side quests that you could potentially do in a current campaign. Cden says, welcome, thanks for the content, love your threads content, your trip. Thanks, I consider myself a trip. Not even K-Money, welcome in. Let's see, Andronima says, did running DA Origins not work in compatibility mode? So I tried Steam, I tried GOG Galaxy. To run Dragon Age Origins on PC, it needs tons of mods from what I hear. Yeah, I don't know, I'm sure, I tried the patch too, that allocated more RAM to it, because I heard that was one of the big fixes. I don't know. There was a lot going on there. I'll figure it out later. But, because I can't be the only one who's having this issue, especially right now. There's gotta be tons of people replaying it, you know? Big Dubs TV, welcome in. Let me get you on the board as Dubs. Big Dubs, not Tubs. Big Dubs TV. Welcome back. For your 5th month. We also have Not Even K-Money, who's welcome, who's a newbie. Someone says Windows 11 is the worst. Also, President Walker says Dragon Age Origins. Yeah, I really want to play them all in order again. I'm stoked. Kasha said, we put people in the PC bag of holding if they can't show up. Oh, for a session? Yeah, I was just going to say that. Like, if you're doing a normal campaign and you happen to have a session where the rest of the party isn't there, or like someone had to drop but they're really plot critical, then just dropping them into a one-shot for, you know, the rest of the party into a one-shot for just that session while they wait for everyone else to come back still gives everyone else something to do that isn't necessarily tied in super strongly to the story, but it can be. You can modify it to be tied in later on, so that way those party members have some information that the absent party member didn't, you know, if you want to kind of reward them for sticking around. And these one-shots are so easy to prep. It does all of the, almost all the prep for you. It gives you like suggested story. It outlines everything super neatly. So I'll kind of go over the skeleton of what these pages look like here in a second again, to kind of delve a bit further into that. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time if you have to do like a last minute sort of detour into a one-shot because someone's not around, or even just as like a little side quest, you know, just for funsies. It's absolutely fantastic. ABCD says, same, totally jelly too. I currently only have one friend who's willing to do a one-shot with me, hoping to get maybe 2 more. And then Eva Kenna says, I actually ran a campaign like that. It's the first time hearing it's an actual thing. Oh yeah, it's a huge, Wes Marcher style campaigns? Yes, it's huge, and I feel like more people need to know that it's like an option. But let's see. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Leader says, I did a poll with my friends to see what theme and objective they preferred, and then picked a one-shot from their choice. I love that. And that's the other thing too, is when you're a DM, so my old advice, my old best advice for DMing used to be don't read the DMG. I can't say that anymore because the DMG is actually good now with the 2024 release. Like it's too good. So now I tell people you have to read it. But hey, Tanner's in the TikTok chat. Hey, Tanner. Saying hello friend, hope you have a fun stream. Thank you, we're doing great. This is so much fun already. I just love talking about this stuff. Hello. Guys, everyone say hi to Tanner from Frozen Fables. The first person ever to interview me is usually what I say. That interview is still up. I hope. I've still linked to it. But someone told me that they like listening to my interviews as like background podcast style stuff while they're doing other chores. Everyone says hi, Tanner. Tanner, you can't see that because you're in TikTok and not Twitch, but all my Twitch audience is saying hi. Also, hi, Odie. How's it going? Let's see. Super Nerd said, don't read the 2014 DMG. Yeah. I say read the 2024 one. It's amazing. But my new advice that I tell people is to cater to their players. If your players tell you that you want to play like a lighthearted type one-shot or campaign, you should give them that option, you know, and you shouldn't try and drop them into Curse of Strahd, you know, things like that. You should figure out what genre they want to play, what vibe that they want. That should be part of your session 0, even pre-session 0 type stuff, so you can plan accordingly. In order to make sure that they have the experience that they want, you know. I prefer a player-first method of DMing. Hey, Li80N says, did we get a new CPU? Haven't been here for a little while. We got a whole new computer. Yeah, Nikki actually gifted us a whole new computer, so that way my stream wasn't getting caught on fire every time I try and dual stream to TikTok and Twitch at the same time. It's been amazing. Oh my god, Tanner's here. Hi. Oh my goodness, hello. Wait, hold on. Let me give you a quick shout out. Tanner as in, I forget, you have way too many N's in your name. There you go. Guys, everyone say hello. I haven't even started following. Whoops. Okay, I'm following you now, Tanner. Sorry. Also, Swickety Swick, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. We also have Captain Howdy, who's back. Welcome back for your second month, and thanks for the sub with Prime. Let me get you on the board here. Howdy 498. There we are. Amazing. Everyone's saying hi again. You guys are the best. But let's see. Birch Pal says, adding this book to my list. So yeah, I'm not exaggerating when I say that this is genuinely, and I've said this before they sponsored me, genuinely a book I think everyone needs to have on their shelf. Just even to like reach over and grab whenever your friends are like, hey, I've heard you play D&D. I've always wanted to try it. Do you want to like run a one-shot for me sometime? Or like they want to give it a shot and you want to convert them into being an absolute nerd for D&D like the rest of us. This is a really easy way to do it. Just reaching over, grabbing a one-shot, prepping it within like, what, a couple hours maybe? And that's if you're like me and you do crazy amounts of prep. It really doesn't need that much, as is. It's good. It's so good. I cannot sing the praises of this book enough. I'm stoked about it. Let's see. Supernova says, I love one-shots as a way for my players to, 1, feel out their characters before the campaign, and 2, as a type of prologue, to explain how their characters formed a party. Yeah, something like they all go on a contract together to deal with whatever... Oh, sorry, Big Dub says, what book again? Sorry. It's called One-Shot Wonders. If you do exclamation mark one-shots, it'll take you straight to it. Christoph says she's Batman with prep time. I'm the worst with prep time. It takes me several months to prepare literally anything. People are always like, Diana, can you run a game for us? And I'm like, give me 3 months. A one-shot I can do. I can't do a campaign. But, oh, thank you for pinning that. Thank you. Let's see. We were talking about the book. Do we have any more questions? We talked about riddles. Freak Show says, yo, back for another stream. What are we doing today? I'm doing a one-shot masterclass. Stupid Nerd said, sometimes making one-shot character very clearly... Oh, wait, no, I read that one already, I think. Yeah, I read that one earlier. Let's see. C-Dan said hello. That's how far back in chat I am. And then we were talking about Dragon Age. We were talking about Moobot and stream elements for some reason. Someone says, now I gotta watch that interview. Yeah, that interview was back when I had my old hair, before the blonde, before I became the fake blonde icon that I am. But anyway, sorry, I never fully got into the anatomy of the pages in this book, because it is something wild. So, like I was showing you guys earlier, on this example, right? And if you're not sure how to read it too, or if you forget, the front of the book has basically like a how to use this book type section, which explains all of the pages and like how to utilize them effectively. So you don't have to memorize it or like try and figure it out on your own. It just tells you how to use it effectively. But every one-shot session planned in this book begins with 3 keywords, which provide information about the theme, objective, and settings. That's what we covered already. And then following that little paragraph tells you what the general plot of the one-shot is, so you can kind of at a glance figure out if it's something that your party's going to want. After that, it gives you a section called Starting the Adventure. And that is going to give you just like a little section that tells you the basic premise of the hook, how you can integrate it in with your story. Arguably, one of the more adaptable sections of every one-shot is how you get the players involved, and it'll give you like, you know, key quotes from NPCs, or even just straight up like a paragraph that you read aloud to get settled into the campaign. Like it's word for word. And usually when it comes to like campaign, you know when campaigns have those like italicized text boxes that say like read this aloud as the DM, I usually have to heavily modify those because I hate the way that WotC writes their, I'm not gonna blame WotC, it's not always WotC, you know, their like dialogue. You don't really have to change much for these. They actually have like proper setting descriptions. They set the mood properly, so I never have to modify them from this book. Following that is the suggested story, which is a list of bullet points that gives you a chronological summary of the adventure broken down into scenes. So that's that over there, that gray box, and that's gonna have it's gonna be consistent. It's gonna be a different color depending on the adventure that you're running, but it's always gonna say suggested story at the top. And it gives you kind of like the key events of the adventure, and then also moments when combat is likely, so you can prepare accordingly. It also gives you kind of like backup options for when your party doesn't want to stay on the rails a little bit. And so it kind of gives you you can take those story elements and then adapt them as you need to. Someone says delivery check. Oh yeah, it's definitely been here for a hot sec. I'm just gonna get through this real fast and then we'll take a quick break so I can run and grab the food that Cash Cow sent our way. But one other thing it gives is quick stats. So down here, you can kind of see the statistics of the creatures that are going to be involved in combat or potentially involved in combat during the gameplay. So it would say like a Triceratops, and then it would say like its AC, its HP, and then its initiative bonus if it has one, and then a key ability. The key ability is just going to be like a quick 2 words. So for Triceratops, it says charges and stomps, just to kind of help you recall what the combat options are. The actual technical parts of it, though, you might need to take a look at like the stat block for properly, but that's something that you can pull up while your party is rolling initiative, because you have the quick things like AC, HP, and initiative all ready to go. So the finer details you can kind of get into while you're getting set up. But all the creatures are available in the 5e basic rules as well, so they are free. You don't have to like have the monster manual in order to make it work, which means this book is highly adaptable and highly accessible. Like in theory, you don't need the monster manual in order to run the stuff in here, which is another reason I recommend it for new GMs. Is playing D&D is a lot of monetary investment at the outset. If you end up buying like the holy trinity of the DMG and then the player's handbook and then the monster manual. With this book, you don't need the monster manual, so you're set to go. Let's see. But this is also one of those things where you can switch it out for a different system. So if you're running Pathfinder, then you can switch it out for something that's similar, thematically. Same with any sort of magic items or spells or things like that. Let's see. It also states important characters, and then key locations, of course. And then it says any secrets and clues that might be available in the adventure. So it says here extra nuggets of information that your players might discover are held in that little box surrounded by the dotted line. And then they can be dropped into the adventure at your discretion to kind of expand upon the basic plot. Lastly, we have the quest rewards up here, which has ideas on how to reward your party. Like I said, if you're dropping this into an existing adventure, that reward is not always going to necessarily be XP or level ups, especially because like you don't want to, if you're just doing it as a quick throwaway one shot, some sort of side quest that doesn't actually have a whole lot of, or you don't want it to have a whole lot of impact on the main story, then you probably don't want to unbalance the XP with the rest of the campaign through a one shot. But instead, you can get like a trinket, a magic item, monetary payment, anything that, anything like that really. And of course, that's adaptable and adjustable, and there's a page in here, page 191, that tells you how to change that. And then the really cool part is that they state what level it's meant for, but also how to adapt it for different levels. So by default, everything in here is balanced for a party of 4 adventurers within the stated range. So it says like Crossed Bones is a level 1 to 2 adventure, but it tells you suggestions on how to make it easier, harder, even harder, things like that. And there's more guidance inside the book on how you can adjust things. And then the last thing that doesn't always get seen is you see this little like banner right at the bottom of the page. So that banner is the session timeline, and it kind of lets you know what comes next as you're progressing throughout the one shot. Hey Ali, how's it going? So that's going to give you kind of like a rough like timeline of what's going to be happening next in the story and what you need to prepare for when you're actively in it. I can't recommend this enough. This is just one example. This is, oh, let me see, let me get it out of the way. Remove. Yes, there we go. But that's just one example of how this book is used and what like the anatomy of one of the one-shots is. They also have a couple smaller ones that just give you like a couple paragraphs to work off of. There's others that are like, like that one, like a full 2 pages. But it's really adaptable, and some of the smaller ones are especially good for those sorts of, if you're one of those like control freak DMs like me, the ones that you can highly modify without really straying too far from the intended story. And of course, if you want to stray far from the intended story, no one's going to stop you. Now, this entire book goes through one-shots for pretty much every level, and it's amazing, and it's got a bunch of different, it's not just all like, how do I put this? It's not all super lighthearted, child-friendly stuff. Like here's an example from one of the spookier ones of a guy with his intestines crawling out. So they have something in here for everyone. I absolutely love it. Hey, Ali gifted a sub to Arya. Thank you so much, Ali. Holy shit. Let's see. Zora and Boo, let me get you on the board. It's weird calling you by your actual name. or your username, I guess, not your actual name. But thank you so much for the gifted sub. We also have D-Trim, who is here saying, I love how you talk about all this stuff. You make it very easy and exciting sounding at the same time. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's my goal. I mean, really, it's all part of my plan for world domination, which is to get everyone to play D&D at some point in their life so they can fall in love with it the way I have. It doesn't just have to be D&D, there can be any TTRPG, but that's, I love this game. I love TTRPGs. I love telling people that it's not actually as scary as it sounds. But hey, Aries is here saying vote Diana for president. Please do. It's a little too late to write me in, huh? Next time. Come back in 4 years. Flair says, hey Dan, I need to tune in more often. Hi Flair, how's it going? Let's see. Stupid Nerd said, when I ran a one-shot for a group that has never played before, I made a couple pre-made characters and explained what the classes are and then let them choose. And then we got to the story. Yeah, playing for new players is something that I need to make a video on because specifically like that is something that I tell people to do is don't get your new players to, don't make your new players make characters, if that makes sense. They really need to, someone says Diana 2028. Oh gosh. Oh man, it's weird that we're already thinking about 2028. Ugh, scary. What was I saying? I totally forgot. Oh yeah, don't make your new players make their own characters. Make it for them or ask them what they want to play and then make it for them. Or do like a little, basically what Stupid Nerd said that he did, which is creating like a series of them ahead of time and like letting them choose what sounds cool to them. Aries says, let me finish 2024, bro, please. I know, it's not even been a... Ugh. Yeah, I feel ya. That being said, we're gonna take a quick breather, chat. I'm gonna grab some water and things like that. You guys should grab some water as well. Please hydrate. It's good for you. Oh my god, Ali gifted another sub. Thank you, Ali. Holy shit, let me get you on the board again. For 2 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Let's see. Cashgal says hydrate or dihydrate. And then also stand up, do a little stretch. When we come back, I'm gonna get into the other thing that they sent me, which is this absolutely massive library, full on like, it's huge, a massive library full of dry erase maps that are compatible with one-shot wonders, but also just compatible with whatever the hell you want to use them for. I'll get into this in a sec. This, like I said, this is exciting. It's not even available yet. I'm so stoked. I'm excited. Someone says it's cool, but yeah, it's massive. It's hefty. So if you use !maps, that'll take you to this, which is the map library. Like I said, it is compatible with one-shot wonders, and it actually tells you which maps. So there's like a whole sort of library at the beginning, a whole compendium of things, and an index that tells you which of the maps are compatible with which of the one-shots from One-Shot Wonders. So like a whole duo set. That being said, if you don't play in person and you play on a VTT, they also have that available. That's actually the only thing that's available right now. The actual physical one is just for pre-order. So you can check that out. Someone says all your stuff is dope. It's so heavy though. I never want to move, primarily because if I have to lift all of these nerd books and move them to a different place, I'm screwed. I have noodle arms. Oh my gosh, Amy McKenna wants me to roll D20 real fast, saying, how will this quiz go tomorrow? Ooh, yeah. The D20 is provided by Norse Foundry. It's my favorite D20 in existence. It's like this frosted glass that looks like it's glowing from the inside. But, quick D20 roll. 8. What's the subject, McKenna? You know, if it doesn't sound great. Airhead said, oh, someone says advantage to that? I can't, it's too late. All right, fine, I'll do it this once, only because I believe in you, McKenna. But this is the only time I'm doing it after a roll. With advantage. A 1. I don't think it's in the cards for you, my friend. It's not looking good. Let's see. Flair says, who creates maps for you? / do you create maps yourself? Nope, I suck at map creation. Which is why something like this is like a godsend. It's got 100 of these things. Created by, I'm pretty sure, all the same artists as well. And I can kind of get into more details on that when we get back. We are going to take a quick break, though, because my food has been sitting outside for a hot sec, and I want to make sure it doesn't get snagged. So it says LMAO. I know, I'm so sorry. Can we get some Fs in chat for E. McKenna while we're gone? And then, in the meantime, E. McKenna, I'm going to put you in charge of chat. Make sure everyone behaves. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back with Sush. Let's see. Where's my... Just chatting. There we go. Hello. Hi. Someone says, what is the site that you can hire DM for D&D? That was Start Playing. There's a link in my bio if you wanted to check that out. That link has been there since the beginning of time. Start Playing has been, like, amazing. ABCD says, me throughout the first half of this live, taking notes. Oh, 100%. Also, can we get 3 cheers in chat for Cash Cow for sending along some Sush? Sush. Now you guys have to watch me eat. So this thing. Oh. I know Pran says, can we hire Diana there to run a one-shot? I'm not on Start Playing because I don't have the time. And like, I kind of have like an exclusivity thing now with GMing where I'm like, someone says this is a mukbang channel. No, it always has been. It's been a mukbang channel for a while. Oh, Jisha wants me to roll a d20 saying I've got a promotion exam next week. How will it go for me? Ooh. Promotion exam. So like you're trying to... I mean, we also have DBC who bestow disadvantage. Saying that if the advantage got a nat 1, I'm sure disadvantage will yield nat 20. So hopefully this works for you. But I'm assuming a promotion exam is like one of those things where you take an exam and if you do well enough, you get a promotion. That seems weird that it's hinging on that. Oh no, it's an ad. Oh, okay, we'll wait. No worries. We'll give it a second. I know you can see me in a teeny little corner screen right now, but while Josho's stuck behind an ad, let's see. Oh, Viper canceled out the disadvantage with an advantage. Amazing. Hedge's Corner also wants me to hydrate. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it with a blackberry bubbly. Most of it, dude, I went over to get pizza the other day because I was sprinting home on my, way back to meet a maintenance guy that I didn't know was coming at that time. It was at like 7 o'clock at night. A maintenance guy just randomly showed up at my apartment from the next town over. And I got a call from my landlady who was like, hey, can you let the maintenance guys in? And I was like, I'm downtown right now. And she's like, yeah, I know. They were supposed to give us a heads up, but like they can't let themselves in because they're not from here and they don't work with our, like, they're like third party. And so they don't have access, like, with all the master keys and things like that. And I was like, okay. So I sprinted home. And I was like, I don't have any food. I haven't had food all day. So I sprinted home and grabbed, like, some pizza on the way over. And I, like, was just rushing to get in and out of the pizza joint. It was one of those by-the-slice spots. And so I was like, can I get 2 slices of cheese and, like, 4 garlic knots? And they're like, okay, well, do you want, like, 5 garlic knots? Like, there's a sale. And I'm like, yeah, sure, fine. She could have sold me drugs at that moment. And I would have said yes just for the sake of getting out of there and getting home to meet the maintenance guys in time. Because I didn't want to inconvenience them. And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take those. And then she was like, okay, well, it also comes with a drink. And I'm like, okay. And then I look over at the drink fridge and there's like 70 drinks in there. And I was like, I didn't know what to pick. I didn't want to grab alcohol because I didn't want alcohol. Someone says, I mean, selling garlic knots is basically selling drugs. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're really good garlic knots too. They came in like a garlic dipping sauce. Amazing. But, what was I saying? Yeah, and she was like, here, grab a drink. And I was like, I don't know what to pick. There was like 8 kinds of kombucha and like 17 different kinds of sparkling water. I just grabbed this because the color was cool. It's actually really good. But I was in such a rush and it like broke my brain when she was like, here, grab a drink. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to have to make a choice right now, but fine. Anyway, hydrate. So, Offhandfoot 5652 has joined, and then we also had the, where's my d20? Aha. The roll for Jisho, with advantage, thanks to redeems from chat. So, we'll see how the exam's gonna go. First roll is a 4. Dude, we never, someone says more advantage. Sorry, there's only 1 advantage. But the advantage gives you 3. Guys, we should just stop taking tests. So with a 4 to 3, the max is a 4. I am so sorry. I guess you better get studying. This is not good. My dice just hate education, I guess. Someone says burn the d20. It's made of glass. Dude, can you imagine a fire pit? You know how fire pits have those, someone says dice jail? I used to have a dice dunce chair. And I have a dice, like, dungeon in the nerd box, but the nerd box is wildly inaccessible right now. Someone says get a holy person. Should I sage my dice after this? I have incense, or I could like wave some incense around it. Oh my gosh, Arrowhead also wants me to do a D&D themed tarot card reading. I'm saying I'm almost afraid to see the results of this after those rolls. Yeah, I can do that real fast. D&D themed tarot card reading. For those who aren't new here, the D&D themed tarot cards are this deck that I have that you can redeem in order to draw one card from. I'm not an actual tarot reader, and the cards are also based off a different system, so they don't have like pentacles, cups, wands, things like that. Instead, they use D&D stats, so like strength, intelligence, wisdom, things like that. And so, as a general vibe check, I usually like pull one card and then I interpret it. And the booklet that comes with it doesn't just provide interpretations, but it also provides little quest hooks that you can use. Doug Goblin says, when the dice do not obey, they get sent to the do not use bag of dice. Oh man. And then at the end you throw it into an incinerator. But ABCD says, down with the institutionalization of knowledge, fuck tests. And Hulk is here saying, can you advantage a tarot reading? Just in case. You cannot, unfortunately. Kashka says, disclaimer, Diana's not a real fortune teller, and any predictions or insights provided are purely for entertainment purposes. She's not responsible for any outcomes, decisions, I can read, or events that may occur as a result of using this service. All information provided should be considered speculative and should not be used as a substitute for professional advice or guidance. Thank you, especially the financial variety. Here we are. It also doesn't do reversed readings, so I just do the normal card. But this is a new one. The Knight of Strength? Someone taking down a beholder? From the top rope? Oh no, it's a mimic. Is that that's a mimic. That has to be a mimic. But the Knight of Strength is generally good. Deck Goblin says go all in is what I'm hearing. But Minor Arcana. Let me see. The Knight of Strength. Going full out and not looking back. Following your gut and doing what it takes to make it happen. Yeah. Full on, go all in. I guess that's 100% the, yeah, you guys nailed it. The quest hook here says the adventurers find a sending stone. On the other end is someone who is in deep trouble and is pleading for help. Whew. Not bad. Also using sending stones as a plot device, wildly underrated. Mac and Bacon. Hello, welcome in. Anyway, there's your tarot deck reading of the day. Oh my god, I'm running out of space because this map folio is huge. It is ginormous. Anyway, the map library. I will say, by the way, when you get the physical version like this, it comes with a code for the digital versions as well. I already have the digital versions, so I think I'm set on that front, but it is fantastic. So if you want the physical as like a reference, I mean, this is what I would do personally. If I was running a virtual tabletop, right, I would use the virtual version, like the digital version, for my party, and it comes with and without grid lines. And then I would take the like actual proper physical version just on my side of the table and like at my desk, you know, keep it hidden from them. And since it's dry erase, this is where I would write down, you know, where all the secrets in the map are. So take this, for example, and I would say like, oh, I know in this room, if they hit specifically this 5-foot square section, then something happens. And I could just write a little note, like, you know, gargoyle attack. And so I can keep track on my side of what happens and things like that. And like, you should always kind of have one version for yourself. And then one version for the party that they can actually see, especially when you're running a VTT. This makes it really easy. I will also say all of these are double-sided. So not only is it like an absolutely like massive book full of maps, but it's about twice as many as it seems. They're really durable. They are dry erase, like I said before. And they all have these, here, let me see if I can do this. Here we go. These codes here, which, oh my gosh, you guys are going to see my god-awful handwriting as if you haven't been able to see it this whole time. See that code over there? So they are all broken into basically like terrain. And so there's icy terrain, there's coastal terrain, water terrain, urban, underground is another one. And that corresponds to kind of the index that's at the front of the library itself. And so like it shows you, oh my god, this is going to be really hard to hold up to the camera. Here we go. It broken down into like region by area, you know, what do you call it? Biome. That's the word I was looking for. I studied zoology. I should know what a biome is. But it's broken into biome, and it says like side A and then side B and what's inside. And then it also comes with, God, this is like the prettiest thing I own too. God, the gold is gorgeous. It comes with a little booklet here that shows you like how they all correspond to everything. So it says if you're running a game from One Shot Wonders, the award-winning, it did win an Annie, book of D&D adventures, head to the adventure index at the back of this booklet to find the perfect map for each, here we go, for each one-shot. So you can see they're all listed here, and then it tells you exactly what map to use with those one-shots. So you got the whole package here. And then the booklet itself, I can actually show you guys kind of like a rough overview of what it looks like. Let me do this. And then I'm going to zoom in a little, and then I'm going to switch to my non-gaming screen share, and then we're going to hide Firefox real fast and show the PDF. Is it not? Oh, I forgot to set it up. Hold on, chat. Acrobat. There we go. There it is. It is for TikTok, and then for Twitch, properties. I'm not going to show off Firefox. We're going to show off properties. Yeah. Perfect. So this is kind of what it looks like. I'm not going to show off the whole thing for obvious reasons, because I don't want to spoil anything. But to kind of give you a brief overview of like what the layout is, essentially it's like a massive table of contents, you know, and it has all of these terrain types over here. So Arctic, coastal and ocean, desert and savanna, forest and grassland, hills and mountains, underground spaces, and urban settlements. Again, really helpful for if you are having, you know, a campaign in a certain type of terrain, or if you need to have some sort of, almost like a random encounter that lasts a whole session sort of thing to keep things interesting. Almost like an elevated, more intense type of random encounter. You can take a map that corresponds to that area and then use that as the basis. And then the rest of the maps are shown off here, and you can see it's got sheet 1 side A, sheet 1 side B, things like that, with brief descriptions, so you can at a glance through the booklet figure out what exactly you're looking for, and you don't have to like flip through every single one of these to find it, you know? That way you just have a little compendium. But yeah, this is that's the map library for you. And like I said, there's digital versions as well. Sleazy Mirror is here for the first time saying, wow, that is massive. Yeah, it's huge. It's amazing. I'm in love with it. It's so cool. And I've also had the Avid Adventurers, if you guys remember those guys, from Avid Cider Company, who sponsors me occasionally. They were like asking me to run one-shots for them in D&D as part of like a little Avid Adventure getaway and things like that. So I'm going to probably run something from One Shot Wonders, and having like the actual maps to do so is going to be so much fun. Because I don't know, it's cool. And also just like being able to whip this out at the function, just go to the game shop, slam this on the table and be like, all right, what do you guys want to run? Let's do it. It's going to be so, such a big dick DM move, you know? Let's see here. Oh my god, hey! How's it going? The Snickle is here. It's Jesse, right? Good to see you. Hello, hello. Welcome in, you and all your 7 compatriots. Guys, if you don't already follow the Snickle, you do. You're just not here maybe, but like, you definitely do. Let me give you a quick shout out, friend. Well, oh, never mind, my mods beat me to it. All right, thanks mods, appreciate y'all. Everyone say hello to all you guys who are raiding in. Hello, hello. Welcome to my D&D themed stream. It's sometimes D&D streams, sometimes we just fuck around and talk about food and stuff like that. But today, we're talking about one-shots. Saying, yeah, that's me, dude. Have you had a great stream so far? We have! It's been great. I got sushi. I got, ice cream scoops worth of wasabi. And then like an eel hand roll, which you can definitely tell I took a comically shaped bite out of before this. Stupid Nerd said, big dick DM move. BDDMM. Jesus. I should put that on a shirt. But everyone say hello. Oh, Cash Call wants me to eat. I can do that. But we're talking about D&D. Talking about one-shots in particular, which are what I always recommend people use when they get into D&D for the first time. Jesse says, hope you're doing well. Still have to meet you proper sometime. Have a great rest of your stream. Oh, yeah, thank you. And have a wonderful rest of your night. Thanks for rating in. Thanks for trusting me with your audience, which is a questionable choice, but there's no accounting for taste, I guess. I'll see you around. I'll be, I mean, I don't know when you and I would be in the same place. VidCon, probably, maybe. I don't know. Either way, have a good night. Thanks for being here. get into the ASMR portion of the stream. Jayhawk says, fucking around and talking about food is like 40% of D&D, right? If not more. But... Anyway, what were we talking about? One-shots. So, let me see. Cole says, Jesse says, Cole introduced me to you and your content and talks very highly of you, so I trust you. Oh, well, that implies a lot of trust in Cole, which, again, no accounting for No, yeah, it's cool. Cole and I are actually going to be playing Divinity Original Sin here soon, and I am so fucking excited. I haven't pulled out that game in forever. Oh my god, I'm stoked. But yeah, I popped into your guys' streams a couple times when he was over visiting you guys down in LA, and I saw the hiking video that you guys made. It was super cute. You guys did a little boys trip. But yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, Synapse is heading off, saying, I gotta dip out, but Def gonna check out these books. Yeah, I recommend it. Also, the link is specific to me, so if you want to help me out, or at least show that you heard it from me, it'll be in my link tree. But I'm just excited to show it off, you guys. I've loved these books for a long time. Like, ever since I held one, if you go back and look at the original video, there's no exaggeration in my... Like, I wasn't planning on recording the day that I made that video. I just had the book and I was like, oh my god, this is revolutionary. And so I immediately, like, just turned on my camera and I was like, you guys. So, the Stickle says, yeah, it was way too long of a hike. I'm gonna head out for now. Take care. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your night. But let's see. I had a bunch of things that I was gonna talk about, but I think we hit most of it, like talking about the maps and how they are quite convenient, dry erase, and fully mapped to one-shot wonders, talking about the mechanics behind one-shots in general and how you can use them for West Marches style campaigns, for little detours when you're missing a party member, for fleshing out a world a little bit more, and how they are just categorically easy to drop into your game. Let's see, what else? Talking about how it's fantastic for new GMs. I think I hit on that point. Populating a world. Let's see. Talking about the advice. Yeah, should we go over the advice that's in here? I don't want to spoil it, but... Oh, /Matrix says, any advice on pacing the one-shot? Yeah, Stupid said, are you going to play the original or the remastered of Divinity Original Sin? So we're playing Original Sin 2, so I don't think there's a remaster yet. It's just the normal one. Oh my god, Arrowhead, thank you for the gifted subs! Oh man, that's really sweet of you, thank you! Aw. 6 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much. I can get you on the board there. But as far as pacing one-shots goes, yeah, the best way to pace a one-shot is to never assume that it's going to be a one-shot. You should 100% just assume that it's going to be way more, at least 3. Someone says the 14 was bothering me. No, I appreciate that. I can... Listen, as someone with OCPD, I respect the shit out of that. Thank you so much for the community good subs. I'm just going to write Arrowhead here 6 times. What are the numbers in your name? 32. That's not too bad. It's like that one folder you're not supposed to delete in Windows. Arrowhead 32. So there's 1, 2, 3. You donated like 6, right? Oh man. Head 32. Arrowhead 32. Once you write a name enough, it really does just stop having any meaning. Like, I forgot that arrowheads were a concept. But thank you so much for the gifted subs. That is quite sweet of you. ABCD says, I plan on doing a D&D shopping haul in 1 week's time. I'll use any and all links provided by you when I do. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I should probably drop them in the Discord, which if you guys aren't in the Discord, by the way, highly recommend it. I actually just opened up a new channel that's specifically for when I have like promo links and things like that. So if you guys, again, I don't talk about brands that I don't use personally and that I don't endorse, or that is like, you know, that aren't like small businesses and things like that. Or that I don't, like, I was talking about Mana Project Studio for forever. I was talking about these guys before they ever sponsored me, things like that. And so chances are, like, I don't have anything on my channel that I don't wholeheartedly endorse, you know? And so if there's ever something that you guys see that catches your eye that I've talked about, you can check that channel. I think it's called DOTR promo codes or something like that. just to see if there's like some discount, because there's a good amount of people who have just given you guys discounts just because y'all are awesome. Like Weird Leather and Mead, or Mead and Leather, I think it is. I forget which way it is from you know, a local company up in Portland that recently gave you guys a discount code. The Knicks actually have one as well, which is, oh my god, let me see if I can find it now that I have, because they didn't want to be the first ones in the promo code channel, so they didn't want me to do like a full-on shout out, but I feel like doing it here works. The Knicks, Nick and Nikki from My Nerd Life, they were the ones who gifted me the computer and enabled me to actually stream again and do sponsored streams and things like that, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to. Dinah's promo codes and offers. Is that really what I named the channel? That is so wordy. Did I do that? Fuck me. I gotta shorten that. But they give you guys a discount code for 35% off that just says Tech4Rose for My Nerd Life. Let me copy that over here. mynerdlife.com promo code, and then we don't need to pin that or anything, but that is they also showed me a sneak peek of some stuff that they have coming up for the holidays. So speaking of holidays, nowadays is going to be a good time to kind of pour through the D&D channel, that is my TikToks specifically, and kind of look over the things that I've talked about in the past, because I have talked about a lot of, like, I've done a lot of small business shout outs, you know, I've done a lot of large business recommendations, you know, supplements and things like that, and you can either check out my channel, and there should be a like D&D and TTRPGs playlist that will have them all there, but they are mixed in with everything else, so if you just want to go straight there, my Linktree has a section that says products I've talked about, or things I've talked about, or things like that, and that will have, like, someone says, hey, you are really a beauty. Oh, thank you. Also, welcome, Anakia. That will have a link to everything that I've ever talked about on the channel that I promoted, so it's all just collected there. It'll be there ad infinitum. But let's see. Cyprian says, are we supposed to be able to see the message history of the channel? There's just nothing in there yet. So yes, and you should have permissions too. But we gotta get into, I should make like a gift guide, huh? I don't know. I feel weird about doing gift guides only because I don't want people to think that it's, I don't want people to have to pay for, how do I put this? I don't want companies to pay for a slot on a gift guide. It would 100% be genuine, but I also then have to deal with people, like audience members, thinking that people paid to be in a slot on the gift guide, because that's usually how gift guides work. So I gotta decide, I gotta make it abundantly clear at the outset of a gift guide that it wasn't sponsored, but I might make one. I might make one, honestly. I'll add that to the content list. No one asked for it, no one's commenting on it right now, but you know what? I'm nothing if not proactive. So, holiday gift guide. Honestly, this would be at the top of it, though. Holiday gift guide. Nasser says, oh, also she has an appearance on a Friday stream coming up. Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be wild. I'm playing with Matthew Lillard. How crazy is that? I got so many messages about that, by the way. So many messages from people who were like, oh my god, like he was I watched so much Scooby-Doo growing up, and like we just watched Scream for, you know, Halloween, and I'm just here like, I don't get starstruck very easily, only because I don't consume that much content. So I was like, oh yeah, I heard he was famous. I didn't really know what for, but apparently he was Shaggy or something like that. Either way, should be fun. I got messages from people who have nothing to do with D&D who were like, or TTRPGs who were like excited for it. Cashcal said the channel's been changed to DOTR promo offers. Oh, amazing. Thank you, Cashcal, for being a ghostwriter on that one. DBCU said, I mean, he's still Shaggy, I believe. Is he really? Oh. Yeah, he's one of the brilliant minds behind Beetle and Grimm, which is an amazing company. I love them to death, and they're having me on for a Candela game later on. But yeah. God, what else would I have on a gift guide? I mean, besides this is really like the big one. Honestly. There's one in here called Dangerous Delivery, which is super cute. The art is also amazing. I haven't really gone on about that, but I believe it's just like the one artist who kind of did the entire book, if I remember correctly. One illustrator, Christina Hassan, was commissioned to do all the illustrations of the book to give it a really consistent aesthetic. Dude, shout out to Christina. And it took over a year of work from start to finish. And then the maps were done by one cartographer, so one person doing all 100 maps, Venatus Maps, who returned to do them all. This thing is, it's so cool. It's so huge. It's amazing. But let's see. The book's art director, Sam, is an award-winning typographic designer and paid particular attention to making the layouts functional, accessible, and beautiful to look at, which they are. And then, I don't know if I mentioned it specifically, I mentioned the ENnie, but the book also won 2 other awards, the Judge's Choice and People's Choice Awards for Best RPG Adventures at the UK Games Expo, which is fantastic. It's been on Critical Role, it's been on High Rollers, it's been on 3 Black Halflings. if you haven't heard of this book by now, I'd honestly be surprised. Let's see. So, we talked about the keywords, we talked about the timeline. It has quick tips for pretty much everything in the book. One thing I haven't talked about yet is Mirabilis, which is, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's the world that if you don't know a whole lot about D&D, right? Oh, people are talking about the whiskey that, that Matthew Lillard makes? Wait, hold on. He's the voice for Shaggy in the cartoons. He took over after the original VA retired. And he has his own line of TTRPG-inspired alcohol. Quest and whiskey. They're starting to branch out some. They did one for Critical Role and had a spooky tequila most recently. Ooh, tequila would be good. I'm not a whiskey gal, is the only thing. I'll give it a shot, though. Same with, like, mead and stuff like that. Weird Leather and Mead wanted to send me some mead, and they're still working on it. But I want to give it a little taste test. If I do, I'll do it on stream for you guys. But Knight says, I remember him in Hackers, which I saw at a tiny 2-screen theater back in 1995. Oh, wild. What was it about? Also, let's see. Ellipsis says, I keep forgetting how much art a one-shot can take. Oh, yeah. But it's absolutely, like, I mean, depending on how hard you want to go. Like, the maps really will do most of the carrying for you. But, like, the entire book is just pretty in general. But let's see. ABCD also says, speaking of gifts, zero rush or pressure. Just want to let you know that what I had sent to your P.O. box was delivered. Oh, amazing. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. But yeah. What was I saying? There was definitely something I was saying with regards to the book, and I cannot remember what it is. We talked about the layout a lot. We actually went through the layout in full, so you guys can tell exactly how to use the book. It's so good, and it's so at a glance, too. Like, I feel like I could maybe run two shots. Two one-shots. Two shots? Four. I could run maybe, like, 2 one-shots, and then immediately at a glance be able to just, like, interpret everything here. Honestly, even without running it. I got a pretty solid idea. But there's a variety of, like, locations. I just opened one randomly, and it takes place in a boarding school. And it's, like, a lighthearted sort of, like, haunted school type vibe for level 5 to 6. And again, that's changeable. There's one that takes place in a remote town. One that takes place in a lighthouse, which is super sick. And it has, like, the map for it and everything. It's just something for everyone, something for everywhere. And let's see, like we mentioned before, it's adaptable for difficulty and things like that. But let's see. What else? Did we have any other questions regarding how to run one-shots in general? Next Pro says, I did the one during the eclipse. There's an eclipse one? No way. That'd be so sick. Eclipses are such a good, like, celestial event that always seems Mirabilis, that's what I was talking about. Such a cool celestial event that always seemed like really impactful in games, and you can make them happen whenever you want. My world has 3 moons, and like, yeah, it has a lunar calendar, but no one's ever looked at it aside from me. So in theory, I could make an eclipse happen tomorrow in my world because no one's around to fact check me. I didn't know there was one that happened during an eclipse. That's amazing. Oh man, there's one that happens in a high-end boutique. A mystery, an investigation, and it has to do with fairies. There's one that takes place in a theater, called the Dark Horse Theater. I remember that Katy Perry song. But if you are not a world builder and you're like, I don't really want to do a one-shot if I don't have a world, it actually provides one for you. This right here is Mirabilis, which is I believe, Latin word, or some other foreign language word or dead language, I don't know, for wonder or wonderful. And essentially, it is a single world map, which is also provided in the map folio in a couple different versions, that has locations for every single one-shot in One-Shot Wonders. So if you don't want to build a world yourself and you just want to run a West Marches style campaign that uses all of the one-shots in a singular, like, comprehensive world, you can run Mirabilis. And it gives you, like, all of the... Mirabilis is a Latin word that means amazing, wondrous, and remarkable. Thank you, Cash Cow! Really coming through there with the definitions. But yeah, it's a realm that essentially just, like, has different regions that cover everything that you need and cover everything for the game. ABCD says marvelous. It gives you a couple blurbs on what the government structure is like, the different towns, the different settlements, landmarks, things like that. So it's just, like, very conveniently all packaged. I absolutely love it. But let's see. Knight of Bawa says, Hackers is a mid-90s inspired misconception of computer hackers, with these scrappy bunch of teenagers having to take down an evil IT manager who's up to no good. An evil IT manager is wild. And it was phenomenal, but not appropriate for stream. Gotcha. Okay. Not Charles says, I struggle with stalking merchants without letting players get OP, and one-shots you can go wild. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I would be aware, though, like, here's the thing. When it comes to one-shots, you should treat them with 2 expectations. You should always expect that they last longer than one shot, just to prepare. You know, prepare yourself for the idea that they might not. And prepare your party, too, because they don't want to feel rushed. I think I made a video on this a little while ago, where I was like, if you're running one shot, expect that it'll take 2 to 3 shots instead. Because of the nature of like people playing the game, and you don't want to rush them. It's not fun that way. So expect for it to be 2 to 3 sessions, and then also expect people to want more. You should expect that these characters, either as a player when you're creating a character for a one shot, or as a DM, making sure that you are prepared for the fact that people are going to want more, and they might want to turn it into a full-length campaign. And again, One Shot Wonders prepares you for that. But, you know, just in general, it's something that you should be aware of, is that people crave D&D. And so, gosh, it's a lot of fun. Can't express enough, this is a really good way to get into it. Let's see. AOP says, do you think the American accent's easier than British? Depends on where you were born. But Arya Stampede says, did you plug it in? Your computer won't turn on. Oh my god, an IT manager? Yeah, dude, I would turn evil if I had to tell people to unplug it and plug it back in again. Over and over again. Don't ask, don't know, welcome in. Ow. Welcome in to the stream. Okay, any other last questions regarding one-shots before I kind of call it for the day? I think we've done a lot today, honestly. I mean, that's pretty much like all of the major overarching non-specific info that I have. Miriam says, I want to know what an evil Diana is like. Me too. I don't really know. I've never had a villain mode. Cyprian says, I always expect my party to go in the one direction I haven't planned anything for. Yeah, so the skeletal structure of the one-shots listed out here is pretty generic and pretty malleable. In a way where it's like, things aren't super tied down to, you know, highly specific scenarios that they need to run into, so you can really avoid railroading your party. And I kind of mentioned that earlier, where I was like, yeah, if your party decides to go off the rails for a campaign, you can maybe put them in front of a one-shot for one quick, you know, session to make them feel like they've done something, and then kind of gently reroute them back to the main plot. Fountain Encoded says, Diana could never be that evil, the laugh gives it away. I know, I don't have much of a poker face is my fucking problem. But let's see. Nostra says, you really make me a better DM and player with all the advice. I'm gonna have to watch tonight's stream from the start. Oh, that's really sweet of you. Thank you. Yeah, and if you guys have questions, please drop them in my comments. There's also a question section of the Discord underneath the stream, like channel grouping, essentially, where you can drop in your questions, and then I go back and answer them on stream. Try not to keep it like highly specific. If you're like, oh, I have this extremely specific scenario in my game that doesn't really apply to anyone else. I would save that for just like the general D&D channel, because then everyone else can kind of pitch in and help you out. But the questions that are for me and more like general DMing advice, player advice, things like that, I can absolutely answer on stream. Just drop it in that Discord and I will check on it every once in a while. Hey, Slash Matrix, thanks for the 40 bits and for the celebration. We also have Doug Goblin says, do you have any advice for ways to share character sheets, not PDF and not over D&D Beyond? My last game we scrambled and shared Excel sheets. Oh, I really don't know. I only ever use D&D Beyond and PDF nowadays. I don't really use anything else. There might be some other, like if you're using Excel sheets, you might be able to find something on Reddit or something like that that has like a form fillable auto calculating Excel sheet. Because I guarantee someone has run into that problem before who's way smarter than me. DBCU said stream stuff, 5th section. It says question submission. Thank you, under stream stuff. I appreciate that. Also, Shadow Jan at 36, welcome back for your 2nd month of being subscribed. Thank you for resubbing for 3 months of tier 1. Let me get you on the board. Shadow Jan. And then 36. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the sub. Doug Goblin says fair enough. Thanks. Yeah, of course. And then, let me see, Notster says Reddit definitely has a spreadsheet character sheet. Oh, I guarantee. They probably have 7. At one point, they made this really cool, like, form-fillable PDF that automatically did all your calculations for you and input your, you could just, like, select, it was before D&D Beyond came out. You could select, like, a background and things like that, and it would automatically do all these calculations, and it would do a little pop-up, and it was like, what language would you like to choose? And then it would auto-fill in. It was super cool. I don't know where the hell I got it, but it's downloaded somewhere on my computer, so I'm assuming it was Reddit. Let's see. Notster says, gonna be rebooting my most recent campaign in a new city within the world. I'm looking forward to getting it back up and running. Oh, amazing. Oh, Doug Goblin, thank you so much for the sub as well. Thanks for being here, dude. Glad to have you. Goblin. My handwriting gets so bad towards the end of streams. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Shadow Jan says, with all respect, you're the Mexicana. I don't know what that word means. I'm assuming it means pretty. I don't know. It could also be an insult. I'm really bad with Spanish. But hello, welcome in. ABCD also says, seriously, thanks for all this info. I'm so pumped to get started with all the newfound info. You're the best. Oh, thanks. I'm glad that you like it. Hermos, oh, thank you. Thanks, Shadow Jan. I appreciate it. Cashgal says, ooh, Sachi's playing Dragon Age. Yeah, we could go say hi to Sachi. Also, Andronimo says, slightly off topic, but I pre-ordered your Anarchy art playmat. When I get it, I'm probably going to ask you to sign it at Gen Con next year. Yes, I will sign anything for this. For guys who aren't aware, Anarchy is a card game. It's like a collectible trading card game that I am actually featured in. I shared the art on Instagram a little while ago. They're actually kickstarting their 2nd edition right now, which is exciting. Also, Berserk Bifrost, welcome in. Fish is here. Hi, Fish. Diana's pretty cool, can confirm. Guys, go follow Fish if you don't already. Fish is amazing. Amazing artist, amazing friends. We love them to death in this house. Chula is like cute and adorable. Oh, wonderful. Oh, good. That's cute. Thank you. Also, Shadow Jan says, keep up the good intel. I've been sending my my DM your ideas, and he's slowly been implementing some ideas in role-playing. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, it's just like incremental little ways to level up your game, honestly. That being said, time to probably skedaddle for the day. I'll send you guys over to Sachi, but before I do, just as a quick reminder, if you want to, you can use !1 one-shots or ! maps one last time to get access immediately via a DOTR exclusive link to the map library, which is absolutely massive. Again, it's just a pre-order for the physical version like I have, but the physical version also comes with a digital version, so you'll have both. Or if you want to, right now, you can just get the digital version right away. That is available here online. And then you can also get One Shot Wonders itself, any award-winning book, and then also 2 other award-winning books that I cannot recommend enough. Like, I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not saying this because I'm paid to say it. I would say it anyway. Everyone should have this book. It will make you a better DM. It will make you a more confident DM, and it will make you ready for that inevitable moment when your players are like, hey, we're down a person, but can we still play? And then you can throw them one shot, or they go completely off the rails and off the map for your game, and you want to put something in front of them that they can do for a session. Or if you're running a West Marches and you want to run a world like Mirabilis that's just full of one-shots all chained together. It really is good for everything, and it's laid out so well in an almost revolutionary style that I'm just so excited that it exists. I'm excited that they sponsored us. Massive shout out to Roll and Play Press, and especially Pasha, their, I believe, social media manager, for reaching out in the first place and saying hi. It's been wonderful having you all here. I am going to send you guys over to Sachi, who's currently playing Dragon Age. Sachi's a good friend of mine, so we are gonna go say hello. Let me see. Where the hell is her stream? Wow, I can't find her. Yeah! Here we go. Wait, is she playing Dragon Age? It doesn't say, it says she's on Just Chatting. I think she's, oh, Fish says here's a tea. All Danny's an awesome GM and player and pretty cool person too. Ah, thanks, Fish. Hello. Oh my god, Cole, hi. Hello. Guys, everyone say hi to Lightbox Gnome. Cole is a friend of mine. Cashcast says Dragon Age on my list. Oh, it says Just Chatting on my, I don't know. It might be a weird sort of thing where it hasn't updated. Hello. Dude, Jesse was here earlier. Jesse also rated in and said hello, and also said you've been speaking highly of me. Which is, I mean, thank you, but I feel like there's a but there. Like, oh yeah, she's super cool, but she never fucking streams. Or, ah, she's super cool, but the songs she sends me are shit. We're learning the D&D. Yeah, we are. We were talking about one-shot wonders because I was doing like a little one-shot masterclass. But hello, Odd Bandicoot. Welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome back. Kashkal said she's just chatting and showing videos. Oh, okay, solid. Yeah, we can go say hi. Fish says, I bought all their stuff when the map bundle came out and like, oh my god, and Fish just gifted a bunch of subs. Fish, no! Thank you! Cole says something good stuff to say. Oh, that's sweet of you. Fish, that is so kind of you. Thank you for the gifted subs. Oh my god, I have so many friends. I don't feel like I should. Like, I need to end stream because I gotta go back to work. I got a meeting. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. Those notifications are gonna go off forever. Oh god. What a stream. Okay, well, we will head off. Fish says Fish, yes. Fish will probably see you online tonight. I got some things to do, so. Odd Bandicoot says, apologies to Raid and Run. Have fun. No worries, I'm heading off here anyway, so I'm going to pass you guys off to my friend Sachi like I was halfway through doing before all this happened. D. Campbell, welcome in. Hello, hello. One last shout out to One Shot Wonders, to everyone who raided today, to everyone who wanted to hang out and who had questions or comments or anything, shared experiences about one-shots. And I will be, oh my god, am I streaming tomorrow? No, I'm not. I will not be back tomorrow. I am so sorry. It's because we're recording the Candela one-shot tomorrow, and then it's going to be streamed on Friday. So it's an async stream. So there will not be a stream tomorrow, unfortunately. Very sorry about that. And I think there's also something not happening on Thursday. I won't be able to stream Thursday because I'm going to be in class. Hint, hint, that's the thing I can't talk about. And then Friday, I think I also have something going on. Shit's crazy right now. I am so sorry for the lack of streams, but either way, I appreciate you all so much for being here. All 142 of you, which is insane. And I need to stop dilly-dallying, lollygagging or digitally and all that. Let me send you over to Sachi. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you guys when I see you. Because I have no further specifics, so bye-bye.